广告之后欢迎回来。节目的下半段内容，我们为您带来的是 Tda Delamere 和 Andy 的专访。观众朋友们，大家好！本期节目中，我们邀请到了 Tda Immigration 的 Delamere 和 Andy 来到我们节目中做客，欢迎两位 ，Welcome。
谢谢。大家好，圣诞快乐。Today I want to talk about a few subjects and try and give people some information. The first I'd like to talk about is if you've had bad advice from an immigration advisor, you have the ability to do a complaint and win.
像这老板今天说，他今天会和大家分析一下关于最近的一些移民案例。然后首先呢，他说是关于中介的问题。如果你遇到你觉得你被中介欺骗了，你其实是可以去投诉这个中介的，并且有可能会要回你的所有的之前的费用。
Recently, we won some cases in the complaints tribunal against 2 immigration advisors, and they were found guilty of being very, very dishonest and making huge charges, and they were ordered to refund $30,000 and fined $10,000.
我们曾经代表了2个客人投诉之前的2个中介，然后这2个中介现在已经是被移民局法庭判定了罪名成立，然后他们已经接受了1万块钱的罚款，并且退回了客人的3万块钱的费用。
See, for example, one of the things they did, our client was an overstayer, and he was very scared, and these agents said, if you go to the Chinese embassy, you'll be arrested and put in jail. So they charged him $8,000 to get a Chinese passport. He's Chinese. All he had to do was pay us $200, he would have got one. And the tribunal ruled against them.
然后我们比如一个客户，他之前是长期预期居留者，然后呢，他去了之前的中介，然后中介告给听说你要求申请你的中国护照的话，如果你去中国大使馆的话呢，中国大使馆会把你逮捕，但其实这怎么可能呢？然后他还收了这个客人8000块钱，然后在移民局法庭里面，这个之前的中介已经罪名成立，并且要求退还这些费用。
Now, another subject I'd like to talk about is many of you are undergoing residency applications for skilled migrants. You've got jobs and you're worried that immigration will turn up at your job. And that will happen.
还有也就是我们现在说的是另一个就是技术移民，然后譬如说你申请技术移民，如果你在审核期间的时候，如果移民局过来interview 你面试你，然后你觉得如果有什么问题的话，你会紧张或者怎么样，我们这有一些方法可以让你教你怎么做。
But what I want to talk about today is what should you do or what should your employer do if immigration turn up at your work?
我们老板现在在这里就介绍关于如果移民局的调查官过来调查你该怎么做，还有你的老板会该怎么做。
Now we tell all our clients that the employer, if they're asked to be interviewed, they should say, "No, I'm very happy to answer all your questions, but please put them in writing."
如果调查官来见你老板的话，你老板可以譬如说我非常乐意接受你们的interview， 但是呢，我现在可能比较忙，然后呢，我希望你把所有的东西以书面的方式给我，然后我到时候会回复你。
And this is very, very important because that is the only way that you'll have a record of what they asked and what you said.
这是非常非常重要，因为这是你唯一可以记录自己当时移民官提出的问题和你老板当时回答的问题，你唯一可以被记录在案，自己有所有备份的东西。
And we've also discovered that often the immigration officer is trying to ask questions that will end up in your job being rated unskilled.
因为移民局经常尝试性说，让你从里面就等于说你电话里回答问题的时候，尝试来抓到你的小毛病，然后来让你的职位变成非技术工种。
Now, if you are an applicant and they want to interview you, you have to have an interview. But you are entitled to have your agent with you.
就如果是移民官调查你本人申请者的话，你是必须回答他的问题。但是你如果有移民中介的话，你可以先要求他联系你的移民中介，再重新安排时间来关于这方面的 interview。
So your answer to the immigration officer should be, yes, I am happy to be interviewed. Please call my agent and arrange a time.
所以你的答案如果给调查官的话，你可以说我非常乐意接受你的访问，但是我希望你先和我的中介联系，然后我们到时再安排时间。
Under no circumstance Do not allow yourself to be interviewed on the telephone or face-to-face without your agent.
并且你可以选择，就是说，关于让你的中介来选择，到时是电话啦，或者是面对面的来面试。
Now, another area I'd like to talk about briefly today is what we call Section 61s. Many of you are aware of that. Hopefully, it doesn't apply to you because, as you probably know, Section 61 means you are an overstayer.
现在我们在说的就是另一种，就是 Section 61申请，这是关于如果你是一个长期预期居留者的话，这是属于预期居留者的申请，我们叫 Section 61。
Up till recently, Section 61's applications were done by case officers at all the different branches. But just recently, Immigration New Zealand have decided to form a special 61 team so that we can have greater consistency across the decisions.
关于现在 Section 61这方面的话，之前是有整个新西兰所有的移民官去来做这份申请，但是现在移民法相对有些修改来，然后老板说如果
I think this is a very positive move by Immigration New Zealand, and myself and all advisors are very pleased that Immigration New Zealand have set up a special 61 team.
所以老板希望非常他和其他的持牌顾问都很希望移民局设立一个特殊的关于 Section 61的小组，来专门针对这方面的申请。
是。
Now, for those of you who may be involved in transferring money to New Zealand, you may be an investor, or you may be trying to help your parents under the Tier 1 where you've got to transfer money. We have clients where we put in an appeal. They were declined. They came to us. They were declined because Immigration New Zealand said they didn't transfer their money through the banking system.
现在我们说的是关于另一方面，关于是转钱的问题的，是譬如说你做的投资移民、创业移民或者父母亲的第一类家庭团聚第一类的，然后呢需要比较大额金额去转。然后呢，我们现在有一个客人之前是被拒签了之后过来找我们，他也是通过银行系统转，是关于银联方面来转账的，但是被移民局拒了。然后呢，我们现在这个 case 正在上诉之中。
是。
Now, these people transferred their money using Union Pay. Now, as you all know, Union Pay is owned by the Bank of China. And every bank in China uses Union Pay. That's part of the Chinese banking system. So that is the appeal. We've gone to the tribunal to say whether Immigration New Zealand like it or not, Union Pay is part of the Chinese banking system.
这帮客人被拒签的，这个客人被拒签的理由是因为他通过银联来转账，但是移民局不认可银联是中国银行系统，但所有人都知道中国每间银行都离不开银联，所以呢，像我们来说，我们的老板就跟移民局来上诉提出来，为什么这不属于银联？是人都不管你喜欢不喜欢，所有人必须承认银联是
我们银行的一个部分。对。
I mean, I'm very confident that if I ever get the chance to ask Xi Jinping, is Union Pay part of China's banking system, he will agree with me.
包括老板说他非常有信心，如果他跟习近平当面对质的话，像我们习主席当面对质的话，如果是他跟说银联不属于中国银行，我相信习主席也不会同意的吧。
Now, the last subject I want to touch on very briefly is partnerships.
现在我们关于说的是关于说配偶的那签证的方面的。
Now, for those of you who are applying for a work visa or residency under partnership, the single most important thing you have to do is prove you have a genuine relationship. So you need to get evidence.
在关于配偶申请这方面的话，最重要的来说就是要证明你们关系的真实性，然后能提供所有的关于支持的证据，这是最重要的一部分。
And I think some of the best evidence you can get are from neighbours. They may not know you, but they may recognise, oh yes, we've seen those two people, they live in that house together. That's very good evidence, especially if they don't know you, because it's independent.
我觉得最好的证据是，譬如说你的邻居，但是邻居来说他或者不知道你，但他经常每天能见到你，看到你们或者在一起，所以如果他们愿意帮你出支持性的话，这我相信是很有利
的证据。
You know, friends, workmates, your parents, get written statements from them.
或者包括家里人啊、朋友啊这些人，如果你能通过有知识心来，他们来证明你们的关系也是很有用的。
You know, I believe that's more important than having a joint bank account.
我们老板相信这更加比起你只有一个联名账号来说，这些更重要。
But other than that, all I want to do today is wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and later on a Happy Chinese New Year. I plan on going to China for China New Year.
像老板说，向大家怎么样？今天总结之后，大家圣诞快乐，然后也顺便说中国新年快乐。然后他可能明年的时候也要在中国去
过新年。对，好，感谢 Delamere 和 Andy 来到我们节目中做客，观众朋友们，让我们下期节目再见。